As a part of my graduate studies in my EDM-510 class, Microcomputing Systems and Education, I was asked to explain the brief differences of Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0, so please hang on to your sanity hats as I try to explain. What is Web 1.0? Well, in 1989, Tim Berners-Lee was trying to work on a way for information to be shared between various universities around the world. With the help of some of the brightest minds in technology, he was successful in this endeavor, and we were introduced to the first version of the World Wide Web. But the web back then wasn't like the web that it is today. Back then, websites that you went to were generally static, meaning that they weren't very user-friendly and you couldn't really put any data into them. Of course, you could view as many things as you wanted, but the internet was mostly a take situation rather than a give. Without a simple way for users to contribute, the World Wide Web was lacking, and if Hollywood has taught us anything, it's that people love a sequel. Web 2.0 was vastly superior to its predecessor because users were now able to make changes to different aspects of the internet. The most commonly known introduction was social media. Users can now send, receive, download, and communicate with far greater ease. Websites like Google, Facebook, Yahoo, well, not so much Yahoo anymore, and Twitter gained a massive amount of influence. These colossal giants in the tech world capitalized on the expandable nature of the internet to create millions of possibilities for sharing information. But let us not forget, this is for an education course, so of course I need to mention some examples in terms of education. There's Kahoot, an app that allows students to answer questions in real time on their smartphones during class. Google Docs is a free writing website that uses cloud servers so it can be accessed anywhere. Even my university's old website, Sakai, otherwise known as USA Online, where the website would misplace files, delete grades, and fail to send announcements. Ultimately, the amount of resources available to students and teachers alike on Web 2.0 are seemingly infinite. I've talked about the past and the present, but let's talk about the future for a bit. Web 3.0 is an ambitiously daunting project. Essentially, the goal is to create a seamless internet that doesn't rely on corporate businesses to supply the servers. In HBO's Silicon Valley, the main protagonist creates a similar project where the internet works through a peer-to-peer model and his machine learning algorithm becomes smart enough to repair its own mistakes. With that said, Silicon Valley is rated R, and I would not recommend it for the morally pure. With the elimination of host servers, which filter content, the internet will become more open and information can be spread with far less censorship. Eventually, the goal is to get a form of artificial intelligence, so when users try to access data, the computer will be able to adapt to their needs in real time. At this point, you may be asking yourself, what's the main difference between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0? Why care if the World Wide Web changes? Well, as it stands, users are becoming increasingly limited in the amount of information available to them. Several countries have harsher restrictions, but the fact remains the same. By limiting these regulations, people can connect, which was the original purpose of the internet's creation. In terms of education, some of the possibilities are too difficult to comprehend because our level of technology has not reached that level yet. A few examples include allowing students to view sites in virtual reality through a machine learning algorithm that could create a realistic environment from nothing. From the search engine aspect, students can converse with computers as they would a normal person for the most intuitive responses. Imagine a world where you could immediately find the answer to your question without having to scan through multiple pages on the internet. Web 3.0's intuitive technology is not a game changer, it breaks the game. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. You can also check out the blog that I'm writing as a part of the class. You can find the link in the description, along with a few websites to read for more information. Thanks for watching the video.